eat right, whether it's to get a different degree, whether it's to be married, whether it's to be engaged, whether it's to buy a new car or take care of yourself or speak nicely to yourself, whatever those things are. It's not too hard for God to do. Maybe if you need God to heal you from some past trauma or brokenness that you've been carrying around, is nothing too hard for God to do. So your vision board, you want to say, Lord, these are the desires of my heart. You gave them to me. I want to partner with you to accomplish them. And then you write the vision by putting together this vision board and watch God blow your mind. As you partner with him, you're not going out and saying, God, I don't care what happens. I want to do this, but God, I want to partner with you. And if you gave me this desire, I want to work to get it done. So as you create your vision board, you might want to create a theme, and that will help you to decide what images you want to choose to add to your vision board. So for me, my theme this year, and this is the theme that God even gave me for Lifestyle of the Believer. So, this is like, breaking news, Lifestyle of the Believer theme, do the work. And so with everything that I put on my vision board, it's do the work. There's going to be some work that has to go into it, but choose your theme, whether your theme is faith, relationships. This is my fourth time doing a vision board. The first time I did a vision board, I think I did it on my own. My friend Andreen shared with me Terry Savelle, and she has lots of videos about vision board. The next one, she hosted a vision board party at our local church for our young adults, and that was great. But I have seen actual things that I put on my vision board come to pass. And my house is the manifestation of, the thing that I put on my vision board. My degree, manifestation of things that I put on my vision board. My current position in my job, manifestation of the things that I partnered with God, not to say I can do this on my own, but I partnered with God and he allowed it. And as long as you continue to partner with him, he'll work with you. So that's my theme for the year. Begin thinking about what your theme is for the year. If this is your first time, you may want to combine all of these different pieces in your vision board. Some people do a career vision board where they just put the things that they want for their career. Some people do a family vision board, but for today, we're going to just look at vision boards as a whole and what we want that to look like. So these are the areas of focus, and we're going to have individuals share on each one of these. Faith, relationships, personal development, experience, wealth, health, and career. And you can choose other areas, of course, that you can add to your vision board. These are just some ideas. And so we're going to show you after we hear from other people and you've been inspired and pumped up and ready to go. I'm going to show you how to create a desktop one that you can use, and you can take that same one and you can use it as your screensaver for your cell phone so you can see it every day. And I'm also going to show you how to do an actual vision board, a hard copy of it that you can hang on your wall for daily viewing. Okay, and that's it for my part for now. And I'm going to ask Germa, are you ready? David is going to promote you to a panelist so you can have the screen. Can you guys give her a hand in the comments as she comes? And she's going to be talking to us about health, which is very important. And everybody that I chose to share, I admire. These are awesome and amazing people, not just within this area, but they're just wonderful people. And I'm blessed that they have been willing to be here with us today. So, all right, so we're going to go.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yay. Okay. I can hear you. We're just going to get you on camera. Just give us just a second. So glad to have you.
Hi.
Okay. Is she on? For those of you who are new to Lifestyle of the Believer webinars, well, that we have so many, but my husband is my tech guy. So every time I look over here, just checking on him. Jeremy, you look beautiful, darling.
Thank you. You do too.
Okay, I'm going to turn off my camera so you can have the floor. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. So good night. everyone. And Gia, I just wanted to say thank you for the invite. The area of focus that I will be focusing on is health. And I'm going to give like a background as far as what health consists of. Most of the time when we think of health, we always go directly to physical health, but it's more to it. So according to the World Health Organization, health is defined as a state of complete well-being, physical, mental, and social. So the 6 types of health that makes us who we are is physical health, which usually deals with promoting proper care for our bodies and for optimal health. The second one is mental health. This is where we become in touch with our own thoughts and our emotions. The third one is emotional health. This helps us to make decisions. It also controls our mood and who we are. The fourth one is social health. How do we get along with other people? The fifth one is environmental health, how the environment influences human health and disease. And lastly is spiritual health, which refers to possessing meaning and purpose of life. Now, for the sake of time, I'm just going to elaborate a little bit on physical health and how to set goals, realistic goals, to make sure that you achieve your New Year resolution for 2021. So as far as physical health, it refers to the state of your physical body and how well it operates, influenced by level of physical activity, adequate nutrition, rest, environment, and etc. So as far as physical activity, you want to include strength, flexibility, and endurance exercise that will help build that. You want to focus on nutrition and diet. You want to focus on if you drink alcohol, any drugs involved, you want to abstain for it or reduce consumption. And then also medical self-care, addressing minor ailments or injury and seeking help as soon as possible. And lastly, rest and sleep. So now, if I had to do a vision board where I set goals for physical health, I'm just going to mention 10 of them for the sake of time again. The first one will be, don't skip your workout. Set realistic goals. So if you're an individual who never exercised before and you're like, I want to start exercising, the best thing to do is set a goal like you would say once a week where you start exercising, instead of saying 5 days a week and you're unable to obtain those goals. And also don't compare yourself to someone else. Someone else may be on a level where they can exercise 5 days a week, and where if you compare yourself to them, you may never achieve it. So set realistic goals. And then it doesn't have to be nothing but short 15 to 20 minutes a day workout. So rather not doing anything at all, set to do 15, 20-minute workout, and that way you can attain your goal. The next one, set a regular bedtime. Sleep deprivation affects the body greatly. And I know as a nurse who worked night shift, how it definitely affects your body. So you want to make sure that you get adequate sleep. And that's anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Another thing that you want to incorporate into physical health is your weightlifting. Choose a variety of strength training exercise and avoid working the same muscle group 2 days in a row. Don't forget cardio. Cardio, it helps maintain healthy weight. It decreases your risk of heart disease and other chronic disease. It keeps your body fat low and it boosts your mood. So again, 15 to 20 minutes a day, that's all that's required. Again, try to do it once a week if you never exercised before, and let it progress. If you handle that once a week and you're able to tolerate it, maybe the next week you want to incorporate 2 days, but don't jump right into it and set unrealistic goals and then you fall behind. Next thing, you want to incorporate water, measuring water. The recommendation as far as water for men is like 15 to half a cup for men per day. And for women, it's 11 and a half cups per day. And one way to make sure you achieve that is by getting refillable water bottles that have measuring, that you can measure the amount of water to make sure that you attain it. The next one is replacing soda with coffee or tea. Again, you want to make sure that it's decaffeinated coffee or tea. And then also the reason behind the soda and the juice, because it's empty calories. One thing I'm just going to touch, behind each food product and food item, there is a nutrition fact labels that let you know how much calories is in each container. Sometimes we can be in that one soda can or a bottle can be 3 serving size, and it's saying 150 calories per serving. So you can times that by 3 to realize that's how much calories you're consuming, wasted calories. So try to substitute with coffee or tea, decaffeinated again. And then number 7 will be find accountability partner. This increases your chance of maintaining healthy habit for your life. An accountability partner could be a friend, could be a family member, a health coach, but anybody that can make sure that you stay on track and continue to achieve your goal. Last 8, we use a daily journal planner that will also help you stay on track. So for example, if you have a goal, which is also part of the vision board, if you have goals that you write in your planner, some example could be making sure that you sleep at least 7 hours each night, that you spend more time with your family, that you increase work productivity. All of these things will help you stay on track by using a daily journal planner. Number 9, which is going to be the last one, is increasing your vegetable intake. There's some people that don't like vegetable, but again, baby steps. If you decide to say once a week, I'm going to incorporate some vegetables in my diet, again, and work your way up, this is all will help you maintain physical health. In a nutshell, what I'm going to tell you as far as physical health, make it realistic. Make it something that you can really achieve. Have accountability partner. Be patient with yourself. And then also, if you fall off the bandwagon, it's okay. Just never give up. Just get back up the next day and continue to achieve your goal. And that's all I have.
Wow, listen, that was so good. I'm writing down everything. Don't judge me. Maybe I'm overreacting because I actually, and you'll see when I share my vision board that I did put water intake. So I'm listening like, okay, I'm on the right track. When you said instead of sodas, coffee, because I'm a soda drinker. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to work on the coffee and I'm going to work on the decaf because, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is some really, 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 really good stuff. So if you don't mind, if it's not too much, if you can share that information with us and we can kind of link it, because when we begin working on our vision boards, we want to make sure we put some of these words or images, adequate sleep. I know I get enough of that, but there are some people who may need to put that on their board so that they can make sure that they're resting and doing all that wonderful stuff. Really good stuff, Miss Germa. Thank you so much. Can we give Germa a hand? Good stuff. You just knocked it out the park, my dear. Next, we are going to talk about relationships. And we know that young adults, relationships is a big deal. It's our life. And the reason why I know teenagers, their relationship with their friends is a big deal. But when you become a young adult, you have to deal with your relationship with your family, your relationship with friends, your relationship with co-workers, and so on and so forth. So at this time, we're going to hear from another wonderful and amazing young lady who I admire immensely. And I always say, I don't know why I'm not hearing more from her in so many different areas because she's just so wonderful. So if you can help me welcome Christina Bloomfield, and she's going to be talking about relationships. Thank you so much again, Germa. Christina, you're on, and I'm going. Can you hear me? Okay, just we're going to give you your audio in just a second. Okay, you should be on now. Still can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I think that did it. I think that did it. You look
AirPod.
beautiful. Thank you for being here, Christina.
Thank you. My relationship.
All right, I'm going to let you just jump right on in. I can't wait to hear it.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to turn my camera off.
Okay. Hi, everyone. And thank you so much. Germa, I took a lot of notes because that was right up my alley with the health part. And I want just moving on to the relationships. I want to start off with first just talking about you as yourself. And a lot of times we all seek to have a relationship of some sort, and that's everyone, whether it be personal, spiritual, emotional, physical, or professional. But the number one thing I would like for you to think about when you're thinking about relationships is you. Think about yourself first. So first you have to be comfortable with who you are. And yes, it's true, you're unique. Okay, so I had to tell myself a lot, I always to compare myself to people, and and as Germa said in the last portion, you have to set goals for you and make it realistic for you. So think about you as an individual. Yes, God created me different. However, I am just the way God wants me to be. So first you start with loving who you are, and you'll find that building relationships will come much easier when you're comfortable in your own skin. Why? Because you're not trying to fit into a group and look for acceptance or validation for others. I am who I am, and this is what I bring to the table. Okay, and you will start to look at what you all bring to the table to see what the relationship, how it can be balanced. Okay, and not just what I can do, or what they can do, what they can do. How do we build this relationship to make a balanced relationship? Okay, and let me just say, in relationship, I'm not talking about just male and female relationships. I'm speaking on you at all relationships, your relationships you have on your job, the relationship you have with family members, relationship you have with friends. Okay, so be comfortable in your own skin. So when you're building your board, start with you. So I will start with Christina, who Christina is, and what do I want out of relationships, and what can I bring into a relationship. Okay, so the I want to give you 11 things, I'm sorry, to think about when you are creating your vision board. Okay, so one, build relationships one at a time. One, don't try to, okay, I like this group, I want to fit into this group, or I think I want to go. No, build relationships one at a time. Fortunately or unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. Sending out a newsletter helps you keep in touch with lots of folks, but what about you just talking to, I'll just say, Sister Gia. I could text her one, hey, how you doing? And just start to build. And sometimes we just wait for people to call us or accept us in. But what if we just start to build that relationship by putting the olive branch out to them instead of waiting for the olive branch to come to you? Another thing, and this is what I had to work on for me, is be friendly and make connections. If you ever get to know me, you know that I'm like probably the nicest person you ever want to meet, but my face don't say it. My face will never say that I'm approachable, or I'm cool, or I'll laugh until I cry. So I had to tell my face, and sometimes my face doesn't listen to me, but like I have to say, hey, try to be more approachable. So be friendly and make connections. Okay, that's the second thing. The third thing is ask people questions. Sometimes we are a little intimidated or nervous or shy to ask questions, but they are also probably nervous or shy to ask that question. So maybe you can go up to them and say, hey, so this elevator does go to the fifth floor, right? I mean, it's such a simple question, but it may spark a conversation for something else. Okay, tell people about yourself. Tell people about yourself. And we have this thing where we have a wall up first, where we don't really want people to know who we are, and so we stay in the background. We're very cool and comfortable with our family or people we know, but um, be comfortable saying, hey, how you doing? My name is Christina. And of course they'll look at you funny, because I would like, hi, why is she telling me her name? But that is how you build relationships. Example, my daughter just got a new roommate, and so she stays, she doesn't want to talk to the roommate doesn't want, they both nervous. I said, Krista, just introduce yourself and say, hi, I'm Krista, and I'm from Fort Lauderdale. Just introduce yourself. And as soon as she introduced herself, her roommate just opened up. It's like she was just waiting for an invitation to, everybody's nervous. So you be the one to be out there. Go places and do things. That's number 5. Go places and do things. I myself, I'm a homebody, and I know some of you may be homebodies, but it's okay to venture out and do things. Before COVID, I was the type to go to the movies by myself, go eat by myself, go to the bookstore and browse the books, you know, go to the mall. Not a lot. I didn't go to the mall a lot, but I would go to certain stores in the mall, I would say, and just browse. Try to go out and say hello to somebody. Just challenge yourself to just say hi to someone. Hi, how are you? And you'd be surprised how that one smile would change everything for that person, right? Um, Six, and this is really important, accept people the way they are. Don't try to change anyone because you don't want anyone to try to change you, right? So accept people the way they are. When they show you who they are, my grandma used to say, believe them. Accept people the way they are and try to, if it is feasible for a relationship with the way that they are, because some people you just cannot have a relationship with. So if it is something that makes you comfortable, then you see how you can bring what you have to the table and what they have and make the relationship work. Okay. Um, Assume other people want to form relationships, meaning don't, that's number seven. Assume other people want to form relationships. Don't think that people are just being standoffish because, like I said before, they may be nervous just like you. So a lot of times, somebody told me once at youth camp, and I was just joking and laughing. And they was like, "Oh my gosh, I have watched you for years, and I never knew that you were this goofy." And so sometimes you just see people from afar, and you never really know how they are until you actually open up and speak to them. So assume other people want to form relationships and just start talking. Okay, it's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. Number eight, overcome your fear of rejection. That is huge, and we all have a little hint of that. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want people to look at us negatively or see us in a different light than what we are trying to portray. But overcome that fear of rejection. Move forward in you. Once again, remember what I said with being confident in who you are. Once you get to know yourself and you're confident in who you are, the rest will follow. And then you won't fear rejection because you're not looking for validation in the first place, right? You're not looking for acceptance in the first place because I'm comfortable with me, right? So overcome your fear of rejection. Be persistent. Some people are shy. Some people are shy, you know. Some people may not be as outspoken as you are. Some people may not be as open to speak as you are. So be persistent and try to welcome them, okay? Invite people to get involved. That's one thing, I'm sorry, that you can do is you can say, hey, I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm just saying, you want to come with me? Or we're having this event. Sister G is putting on a vision board party. I'm going. Would you like to join me? Invite people to get involved. Believe it or not, a lot of people are looking for someone to um, include them into something. A lot of people are looking for something to do, and you inviting them will help them a lot. And the last one, number 11, enjoy people. Enjoy people. If you genuinely enjoy people, others will be attracted to your attitude. People will more likely want to be around you. So enjoy people. See people for who they are and relish in that. Enjoy who they are and try to bring out what the best in who they are, right? So there are certain people who are just really really shy and they're just looking for someone. My mom used to be that person. She would always look around and she longed to talk to someone, but she was so shy and she couldn't really, you know, put herself out there. And just anybody that would say hi, how you doing, she felt so uplifted. So maybe you be the one that will help to build that relationship with that person. And relationships can take you a very long way. You'd be surprised once you make relationships with people, they may be able to help your children and your grandchildren. Just because they knew you, they'll step out and do more things. This is really quick. Thanksgiving, I went to Honey Baked Ham and I didn't make a reservation, even though if you don't make a reservation, you can still get a honey ham. But they had sold out of honey ham. And once I got in, I looked up and a substitute teacher who I was always really nice to saw me and was like, "Oh my goodness, come here." And I'm like, no, I mean, I was like maybe 10th in line and I felt so strange skipping everybody. And y'all, I did skip them. And they had a honey baked ham in the back and gave me a honey baked ham where everybody else was told that they were sold out. So that's building relationships. I built a relationship with one of the teachers, one of the substitute teachers years ago, and they remembered me and gave me a honey baked ham. So my Thanksgiving was saved because, no, I'm just kidding. But either way, when you build relationships, you just don't know what you can get out of it just from giving out that personality that's in there, that niceness is in there, that wonderful you is in there. Share it with someone. And that is what I have. Build great relationships. And you can start with
So good. So good. Y'all, I'm extra. So if y'all met me, Kesia Roberts is so extra. That was so good. Listen, this is just the second person, all of this good stuff. Am I the only one that's like, this is really, really good stuff? Christina, you got to do something with this speaking, because every time you come and speak for Lifestyle of the Believer, I promise you the feedback is like, she's so good. So we just waiting for you to start your thing so you can invite us.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay.
And we can show up and support you, because that was really good. I hope you guys are keeping notes. If you can, share that list with us as well, because all that stuff is really, really good. That's how my best friend and I became friends. We were actually in line at the job fair, and she's super shy, but she just started talking to me. And you know, I love people. I probably wouldn't have started talking to her, but here we are, best friends, some 13, 14 years later. So really good job. Excellent job. I hope you guys got something that you could add to your vision board in terms of building relationships, because if that's an area that you struggle in, this is a great time to put it on your board and try to encourage yourself and push yourself outside of your comfort zone so that you can build relationships and maybe, you know, find a wife or a husband as well. Because that's how, that's how it starts. Can we give Christina some love? That was awesome. So the next person that we have is Kesia, and I am so proud of this young lady, and that's why I have invited her to come and talk to us about personal development, because when you make a goal, it's kind of, you know, just what do you want to do for your own self? And so we've had a conversation, and I'm inspired by her, and I'm hoping that you will be inspired as well. So if you can help me welcome Miss Jean. Today is her husband's birthday, and she is being with us. So tell him we said happy birthday and thank you for sharing you with us on his special day. And that yellow looks amazing on you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you have the floor because I want you to get back to Michael Jean on his birthday, okay? All right, thank you again for being here.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. First, I want to say to Ms. Gia as well, thank you for contacting me and giving me the opportunity to be able to speak this afternoon. Thank you to the two ladies before us and the ones that's going to come after me. Awesome presentations, a wealth of information, and a different perspective on how to look at relationships and look at health. Amazing job. So thank you, Ms. Gia, for allowing me this opportunity to talk about personal development. I am a mother and a wife. I am in the career field of education as well. I am a teacher of middle school students. So personal development for me is constantly happening in my work life, constantly happening in my personal life. So I do want to talk about that in a personal perspective. So the first thing I want to talk about, I have 3 points to make. One being a growth mindset, the second one being knowing the why, and the third one being making it personal. So to start out with growth mindset, in my own words, I would say that I would like to describe growth mindset. I know there's many things out there on the internet and also how we teach our students and apply it to our life. But I would have to say that I do agree with the part of saying that we challenge and see our failures as room for growth and not as to say it is finished, that it is done. It is over. It cannot be achieved. You might as well throw that away and try to start something else because this just isn't happening for you. I think it's very important that we pay attention to what we put in our mind and also what we're feeding into our mind. So as a way of explaining this in a symbolic or using symbolism, I kind of want to look at our mind as being the soil. We know that those that plant anything or anything that we actually are going to receive or reap from something being planted, that if the soil is not right, then you will reap something, but it may not be the most healthiest and it may not be exactly what you desire to have. So I want us to kind of think about our mind as being the soil. How healthy are we nourishing that soil? What are we doing in our mind before we even try to reach for those goals or the dreams or the things that we desire to have and accomplish before we even begin to work on them? So I want us to look at our dreams and our goals as the seed. And once we take that dream and place it into a goal, what are we doing after we have placed that goal into the ground? After we have placed that seed into that soil, what are we actually feeding it? Are we feeding it endurance? Are we feeding it self-determination? Are we feeding it prayer? Are we monitoring that growth of that seed? Are we spending any time reflecting on what has happened so far? Also, are we putting ourselves in positive social groups? I think it was Christina, if I'm not saying it right, I'm sorry, but she talked about making those connections. And I also wrote down in my notes here, building healthy relationships from the first speaker. Are we creating positive social groups? Are we feeding ourselves into networking systems of those that have been successful? And sometimes it's not a bad thing to even talk to those that have had some failures or have had some obstacles in the same direction that we're trying to go, because those people would have wisdom and they would have ways of telling us what we can do and what we shouldn't do. And then we would have to make sure that those things that we're watering that goal with, that we're watering that seed with, are healthy. And things that need to be pruned, and we need to make sure that we're cultivating our minds and taking care of our thoughts so that those seeds can grow, so those goals can be accomplished, so that those milestones, that they can be met. The second thing I want to talk about is knowing the why. I'll use myself as an example. There's a saying out there, you get married, you're happy, and the weight just comes because you're happy. That's just one of the things they say. Well, I don't know if that was it, because I'm sure I was feeding my face. However, I have been in a situation where I've been in a gym membership because my husband faithfully paid for it. And then every time he tells me I'm going to cancel this, I run to the gym and work out 2 or 3 times. Oh, I'm going to show you, I'm going to work out. So then he forgets about it, and 2 or 3 months pass and I don't work out again, and I do the same thing again. So finally he cut the cord and that gym membership went away. So now 3 or 4 years later, I have to pay for my own gym membership. I don't think that it has anything to do with me paying for it, but I finally figured out the why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why is it important that you take care of yourself the way that you should? Even though I have him as a great example, a great mentor, I see it every day that this is taking place through him. I'm not having to go out on YouTube. I'm not having to go out on any social media. It's happening right in my home, that I see the example and the benefits of taking care of the body. You can't take care of the body, you can't take care of anyone else. If you can't take care of the mind, how can you go out and give others healthy advice when you're not doing the same? Because so many times our ministry is not about what we say out of our mouth, but it's what other people see that we're doing. So I say that to say that as soon as I figured out the why I needed to do this, which was that I want to be around to see my grandchildren. I want to live a long and healthy life, not just be here existing, but actually to be living and enjoying it. I made a decision back in April, just a personal decision, that I would change what I was eating and what I was putting into my mouth. I decided that I would venture out and eat a vegan diet and remove some things from my diet. And a lot of people say, wow, that was so hard to do. But it was the easiest transition from keto, from Weight Watchers. It was the easiest thing I've ever had to do, because my mindset was that this is what I'm going to do because it is necessary for me. I have to say that I finally figured out the why. And once I figured out the why, it became very easy to accomplish. And now I am working out with my husband. I see small changes. I've set goals. I put in my mind that you're not going to be that person that said they will lose 30 pounds in 30 days or 50 pounds in 2 months. But this is a gradual process, because in my mind, this is where I've set the goal for myself. The last thing I want to talk about is making it personal. I know that being selfish is a word that may kind of fall onto the negative bracket, but you're going to have to be just a little bit selfish when it comes to yourself and making it personal for you. And let me explain that. A lot of us, I'll say, even in my career path, or it could be in relationships, or it could be in health, or it can be in your desire of which road that you want to take. And a lot of our failures or our disappointments or our setbacks happen because we did not make it personal, and we made it something that we wanted to do because everybody else was doing it. This is the trend now. So I must jump on that bandwagon and I must participate and do that. But until we do make it about us, just us, the person, and make that personal, then every time the person that we have attached ourselves to, or the trend that we attached ourselves to, or the outcome of this goal or this situation, of who's doing that, we attach ourselves to that. And then once that falls apart from the attachment, or the attachment that we placed ourselves with falls apart, then our goals just blow up in our face, because it was never about you. It was never about me. It was about someone else accomplishing this. And now their accomplishment, or their drive, or their desire to want to go back to school, or their desire to want to lose weight, or their desire to want to be more active in their faith or in their church, or whatever the case may be. It fell apart for them, and now it's not a desire for them anymore. And so now that attachment, we don't have it because we're being motivated by someone else. So I say that we have to make it personal. It has to be something that we want to do, something that we can monitor, something that we can go back and say that this is where I need to make the changes. And once you accomplish that, then we can actually pour into others. And I'm not saying be selfish to the fact that, you know, and now I've accomplished this, so I'm not going to share it with someone else, or I'm not going to give direction or encourage someone else, but making it personal so that you can have a point of completion is what I want you to walk away with. So as a recap on my 3 points, having that growth mindset, knowing the why, and making it personal, what I feel like will be a very good course and a healthy way for us to live our lives. And the last thing that I'll leave you with, because I think I'm over my 5 minutes, is that I do want to leave you with a Bible verse, which is Philippians 1, verse 6. And it does say that, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it to completion until the day of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much, Ms. Gia, and I hope that I've blessed somebody.
That really good stuff, Kesia, really good stuff. Oh, listen, my brain can't handle all of this. It's a lot, but it's really, really good. Thank you so much for pouring in. Thank you so much for that visual illustration of the seed. Somebody will probably find a picture of a seed if that spoke to you, that you can add to your board. And the good thing about vision boards is that you can put that seed on your board.
Yes.
And you can know what it means. Nobody else has to know what that means. That seed could mean for you that you are feeding your mind with good, positive things and knowing your why and all of this. I don't want to take too much time, but thank you so much.
Thank
Again,
you.
enjoy the rest of your evening. Doctor's orders.
I'm going to stay around though until the end. He's
Oh,
agreed
great,
to
great. Yes, 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 yes.
wait. Thank you so
Isn't
much.
this some really good stuff?
Yes,
Guys,
it
give me
is.
some comments in the, let me know in the comments if you're really enjoying this and getting some ideas and some things that you can use and include in your vision board. So Kesia, thank you so much. Next, we have another friend of mine that is going to be talking about faith and how to set goals for your faith. And it is none other than Nate Milwood. Nate, you there? Is your audio on? So guys, can you please give him a hand and welcome him as he comes? He's going to give you some ideas to include in your vision board for faith.
Amen. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you, Sister Gia, for having me. Wow. So much has been said already that is just on point. And man, I mean, y'all are just all in my notes, but I know that that's the way that God works, definitely. As we're talking about all these things, personal development, we're talking about faith and all these things that go into the vision. Faith is so important. Faith is the flagship of it. It's the flagship that it leads us to our victory. Faith, it drives the vision. Faith is so important in all this. And hold on just 1 second. Sorry, my background is throwing me off. All right, that's better. Sorry about that. But faith is just so important. Faith is really important in everything. It's our flagship. It definitely what carries us to our victory. And all the things that we said with our health, personal development, our relationships. Faith is a huge part of that. And oftentimes when it comes to, we come toe to toe with these goals, with our relationships, and when it really when the meat really hits the grinder, so to speak, it takes faith to keep us going. I mean, we can all say that, amen. It really takes faith to keep us going and to keep us motivated. I like to bring one point that says, I call it the third quarter mentality. Faith is when, in the third quarter, that's when faith kicks in, because in that third quarter, think about it. The first 2 quarters, you've assessed everything. You've assessed your opponent. You've assessed what you're up against. You've taken a look at what's working, at what's not working, and in that third quarter, you come back with a revised plan from the original plan. And all our plans, whether it's working out, setting career goals, there comes that point, which is, I call it that third quarter, where we're realizing that, hey, I got to revise this vision because, what's happening now, I got to readjust. I got to make some tweaking. So that's what we do. And it can determine the outcome. It's a killer instinct mindset that you got to have. You got to assess it, and you have to replan, revision right then and there, because if you don't, you could really lose track of where you're going and lose sight of the vision. And with that, it's important to say that in the third quarter, and you're seeing what's working, what's not working, it also helps to build confidence, or it can cause you to be discouraged because nothing's working. What happens when everything that we planned, we did everything by the book, but nothing is working? That's when faith kicks in, because we got to finish the line. We got to finish strong. We can't afford to let anything or anyone get in that way. So a lot of times that third quarter that we are in, we have to talk to ourselves, and we got to talk to God. We can't leave him out. So many times in my life where I remember it being almost like a third quarter where I spent days on end, weeks on end, hours on end praying to God, literally the same prayer, like, God, hey, let your work, let your will be done. Father God, please help me in this. And it was a push. And then finally, when I was out of that situation, I was able to say, you know what? Thank you, Lord. I'm glad I pushed through it. I'm glad that I was able to muscle through it. But really, it wasn't me. It was that faith that really helped me. It gave me my second win. The third quarter is where you will get ultimately your second win. And that's to say that, hey, we can do this. Hey, you got this. You're not going to fail. God is with you. Whatever you're doing, you have the vision written down. That's where you remind yourself of what's at stake. Great teams, going for the an NBA championship or an NFL championship. We've all seen it. Third quarter is where everything will either break apart, or that's when the greatest comeback in history takes place. So we have to always be ready to say we're putting this to rest and have that killer instinct mentality, or if we're behind, to say, you know what, it's about to be the greatest comeback in history. The second point, and this point was made already, and I was glorifying God with it, is keep your circle small. Keep your circle small. And by that, when it comes to faith, and achieving your goals, often you want to protect your faith. The reason why you want to protect your faith is because ultimately it's protecting your vision also. Because if you don't protect your faith, and this is the reason why I say this, and what I mean by that is when you keep it, when you're protecting your faith, when you're protecting your vision, sometimes we have people that we can talk to, and just as it was mentioned before, they have all the best interests at heart, but sometimes they can leave us discouraged. Have you ever had those conversations with somebody that you had a goal in mind or you had a great vision, and you reached out to this person for confirmation, or you reached out to them wanting to kind of bounce it off them and see how they felt, and you kind of left away like kind of somewhat feeling like the buzz is kind of gone, like the adventure, the excitement is gone because of what this person said? You got to protect your vision. You got to protect your faith. So when I talk about keeping my circle small, it's all about, I only bring it to people that A, have faith, or B, they're able to see my vision. If they don't see my vision, hey, I appreciate I'll take notes on what you said. But honestly, yeah, we're just gonna keep it moving, And I mean, it's all in respect. I mean, like I said, a lot of these people, they care about you. It can be family members. Sometimes our family members are the hardest critics. They will give us all these ideas, but listen, the vision is up to two people: you and God. That's it. He's the one who birthed the vision inside of you. And then even when it comes to goals, I heard working out talked about something, the career path. It's dependent on two people, you and God. And the reason why I say that is because when you're going after these things, it takes great faith to press through these things. Because when all the motivational talk wears off, when you're tired of listening to the great motivational speakers and everything, and you get in that zone where you're in a slump and you're trying to play catch up, you don't really want to talk about it with anybody, your faith is what is going to give you that second win. As I heard one preacher put it one time, the Holy Spirit is the one who does the heavy lifting. It takes over from there. I mean, it's always been from the beginning, but the Holy Spirit is what takes over and says, you know what, I got it from here because I see you getting weak, so I got it from here. So when you're protecting your faith and you're keeping it within a circle that's small, with people who are both faithful and people who see your vision, you're pulling from a pond, if you will, that's, you're always going to get encouragement. You're always going to get encouragement. It's always people that are going to be rooting for you. You don't have to navigate through the negativity and take two separate pages of notes, but you know that everything that's given to you is, number one, is of God, because these are people who are hearing from God because they have faith. And then number two, these are also people that they see your vision and they're excited for you. They're not just saying that, but they're really excited for you. So that's just, the second part. Sometimes discouragement, it comes in many forms and, different things in our lives. I personally went through the whole workout thing for years, and I'm just smiling and I'm shaking my head listening to everybody speaking because I've dealt with that for so long, in and out of the gym. I've done everything to try to stay motivated, and that has been like my ongoing fight. But it takes everything from music. So if I go working out with people, it has to be the right people. Everything. I can't. I got to stay away from people who like to talk a lot in the gym. There's so much involved in it, and it can be real tough. But a lot of people don't know is that I've spent a lot more time in prayer about that too. Praying before I go to my workouts, praying every morning and say, God, give me that fire, that desire. To be healthy. Stuff like that, instead of kind of depending on these external stimulants, so to speak, to get us going. But I'm trying to pull from an eternal source and God with my faith, and saying, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna get it done today. We're gonna get it today. Today, we're gonna do it. And you know what? Whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's 2 hours, we're gonna knock it out. And you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up again and have faith that I can do it again. So that is just really awesome. The last part, I really just want to leave with you because I don't want to say too much. But in the olden days, the most important person on the battlefield, is the person who's holding the flag. The reason why I say that is because, we may think that it's the cavalry men, it's the front line men, but the main person, the whole person that brings everything together is that soldier whose sole purpose is to hold that flag high in the air. The reason why I say that is because that flag, it reminded the men what they were fighting for, and it gave them courage in battle to fight for what they wanted, whatever the vision was, whether it was to overtake a land that was theirs. If we remember, even in the Bible, the Bible talks about Moses and holding his staff up, and how, saints had to literally help him hold his staff up so Israel could win in their battles. It's the same way. Our faith is that staff that we are holding up. Our faith is that flag pole that we are holding up. And every time we get discouraged, we look at it and we remember what's at stake. We remember why we're doing it. And honestly, it should rejuvenate us, and it should unction us to keep going in battle, to keep fighting, to stay strong, and to not let any negative energy come in between that, not let anybody sway us, but to just keep moving forward. Our faith is that flag. As I always say, and this is the last thing I will add, is I got a saying, and this saying, I believe it wholeheartedly, came up with it a couple years ago, and it's what I tell myself when I'm in battle for goals, visions, and the things I want. And it's called awake, pray, conquer, repeat. First, I got to wake up, shake the cobwebs off. I got to look at what's at stake. I got to pray about it, put it before the Lord. When I put it before the Lord, from then, it's all faith work. It's just getting the work done, getting out there, conquering my workout, or conquering what I'm doing at the job, no matter what. And then from there, it's just repeating. We get up every day and we just repeat the same cycle: awake, pray, conquer, repeat. God bless you. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Brother Nate. Thank you so much. Listen, I know a lot of games that are won. I'm not the biggest sports fanatic, but we do our share of sports in here. Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, that kind of thing. And I know one thing about Miami Heat is that third quarter, if you watch them, third quarter, everything changes. So a lot of games can won and lost in that third quarter. So thank you so much for reminding us and letting us know. I like that awake, pray, conquer, repeat that you just said, and just carrying our vision and our goals as our flag in our faith, so that we know what we're fighting for as a reminder. So thank you so much. Can you guys give some love? I see Jillian put that in there. Awake, pray, conquer, repeat in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we're moving right along and being fed with some really good stuff. And my next friend, I haven't seen her in years. I think the last time I saw her and the group came to sing at the Hollywood Church. But Delsue and I were campers together. Hey, way back, but we're so happy to have you. She's going to be sharing with us on career and those things that we can add to our goals and our boards as it relates to our career. So Delsue, you look amazing. Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Thanks
too.
for being here. And I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity to share. I actually have a PowerPoint that I created. So if you don't mind me
So we're going to
sharing.
give you, let you share your screen in just a second.
Okay.
Are you able to now?
Okay, let's see.
Perfect.
Yes, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you again for inviting me to share. I'm just so excited to be here to share about how to grow in your career field or how to set appropriate career goals. I'm Coach Delsue Frankson, and I'm a product of Church of God of Prophecy. And I'm just so excited to be able to share with our Lifestyle of the Believer audience today. And just to piggyback on what everybody's saying, I think it was the perfect way for me to come behind all the speakers that presented before. They were amazing. And before you can actually focus in your career goals, everything that they mentioned before was important for you to have in place. It's very important to know your why. We have to remember that we are the hands and feet of God. So whenever we go with, to choose a career, we should seek God first. He has a purpose for us. He knew us before we were in our mother's womb. Each of us have a divine purpose that we were created to bring forth on earth. So as you choose your career, it's very important that you choose a career field that can benefit from your gifts and your abilities. So each of us have a specific gift or ability that God has blessed us with to help expand his kingdom or that can benefit the world. So it's very important that you remember that we are the hands and feet of God. And a lot of people like to, and one of our speakers mentioned earlier, sometimes we choose to do things because we see others are doing it. And that's the main reason why we choose that career field, because we try to replicate. But each of us are created by God, and each of us have unique gifts, talents, and abilities that no one else can bring forth on this world but you. You are a very unique part of this puzzle of God's eternal plan. And when we go around mimicking others, you set yourself up for failure. So I always encourage others to work towards your strengths. Your gifts and your abilities are your strengths. A lot of times we go after our weaknesses, and that's why we fail. But work towards your strengths. Your strengths are your gifts and your abilities. Another thing is to set meaningful goals. So when you're setting goals, it's important for you to set goals in stages. You can set weekly goals, you can set monthly goals, you can set yearly goals, and I also set like a 5-year goal for myself. And also look for the future. Also set a retirement goal. So for your weekly goals, could be small goals that keep you focused, because it is so easy to be distracted by others around you. And I know someone mentioned it before earlier that a lot of times, because of who we surround ourselves with, we get distracted and we get discouraged. So set weekly goals for yourself. And I'm going to go a little bit more into each of these areas as we move forward. And then set monthly goals. So what would you like to accomplish for the week? What should your week look like as you're working towards your goal? It's important to write that down. Set monthly goals for yourself. What would I like to accomplish each month? Then set a yearly goal for yourself by the end of the year, by December. What would I like to accomplish? And then set like a 5-year mark for yourself. So it's always good. They say most people switch career fields every 5 years. Sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes you love what you do and you just continue in your career and you grow in your career field. So But set a 5-year goal for yourself. And then what would it look like in your career field? So if you want to establish a meaningful career and you want to be in that same career field over a period of time or until you retire, what does that look like for you at the end of your retirement? Do you want to retire and still volunteer in your career field? Do you want to retire and still consult in your career field? Or do you just want to be retired and traveling? So what does your retirement goal look like? So set a retirement goal also. Also, do something daily. Do something daily to move you towards your goal. The 6 most important to-do list is something I learned from Mary Kay. I used to be a Mary Kay team leader, and the Mary Kay way is one of the number one best sellers for the business industry. And the 6 most important to-do list was one of the best strategies I've ever learned about a business plan or just how to stay focused. And the 6 most important to-do list is what you do at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, you write down what are the 6 most important things that I have to accomplish tomorrow. And it could be simple goals. It could be something that you cannot miss the deadline to complete. But write down every night before you go to sleep the 6 most important to do things on your list, and that will keep you focused. Practice self-care daily, and many of the speakers that came before us mentioned that. So in order for you to be successful in your career, everything that the other speakers mentioned before is your foundation. That's your foundation, basically. So you have to practice self-care on a daily basis. Make sure you have a solid spiritual foundation. And that was covered by the previous speaker in front of me also. And when you have a solid foundation, you will be able to make the decisions that you need that will move you further in your career path, and also to make the correct decisions. And my favorite scripture is Psalm 37:4 that says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." And as you grow in Him, and as you continue to grow spiritually, and as you take care of yourself, you can focus, you can be able to think, to make good decisions. That will help you to make the career choices that you need. Like I say before, work towards your strength. And as you move forward in your company or whatever career field you want to be in, you will be surprised how God bring you full circle. And I've been watching how He's been bringing my life full circle from all the different desires I had from childhood. Everything I do now, I'm currently a mental health coach, but I started out first as an educator, but I was also a youth pastor. So it kind of all tied together in the past, like me wanting to be able to help others on their journey through life, to help them spiritually to grow. It's the same thing we do in ministry. We are like mental health coaches. We provide the same support they need. And it's amazing how God would bring your childhood into your adulthood, into your career, because I focus on my strengths, and I also focus on the things I know that He created me to do. I never attempted to do anything I know that I'm not capable of. So everything I ever attempted to do in my life was because I had the gift to do it. And because of that, it made me very successful in whatever field I decide to work in. So when I go to apply for a position, I usually get it because I'm coming in already confident in the areas that I'm applying for, because I know I have the gifts, and the individuals that are hiring me, you know that I had the experience in that area. So work towards your strength, and you can continue to develop your weaknesses, but always work towards your strength, and always just work towards the gifts and abilities that you know that you have. And always surround yourself, like the young man said before me, with people that you know genuinely love you and care about you, like your mentors, youth pastors, your leaders. If you have a coach, a life coach, or youth pastors are there as your life coach. That's kind of what I had growing up, and I also became a youth pastor as I grew my ministry. They help us in the church. The church is my foundation. They help you to feel confident about yourself. They'll tell you the truth. They'll encourage you. They will also let you know your strengths. So those are the individuals you want to surround yourself with, because they will give you constructive criticism that will help you to grow. They will help you to identify your purpose. And that was one of my favorite things as a youth pastor in the past, was being able to meet with my youth, and as they grow and I watched them grow spiritually, I was able to help them identify their gifts and their purpose. So just continue to trust in the Lord and to delight yourself in Him. And as you create and develop your relationship with God, and as you continue to have that solid foundation, that solid spiritual foundation, and as you practice self care daily, He will reveal His purpose to you as you take your steps each day. And don't feel that you have to know everything right away. And one of my favorite quotes is from Steve Jobs, and I always encourage other people is that you don't always understand what God is doing, but He knew you before you were in your mother's womb, and He knew what He called you to do, and He knows that your steps are ordered. But like Steve Jobs always say, is you cannot always connect the steps. You don't connect the steps looking forward, but you connect the steps looking backward. So as you move forward in life, and as you start to achieve your goal one by one, you realize that how God was a part of the plan from the beginning to the end, and you'll see as you look further back in your life how He's made the way. So I'm just going to encourage you just to continue to live for God and trust Him, and continue to work on your spiritual relationship with Him, and continue to delight yourself in Him, and He will give you the desires of your heart and help you to achieve your career goals. And if you would like to reach out, feel free to reach out, and I'm be willing to meet with you just to help you to figure out your career goals, and help you on with anything you need some help or direction with. God bless you and have a great afternoon.
Wonderful. Not a bit surprised. Really, really good stuff. Thank you so much, Delsue, for being here, for sharing with us. And I think, it doesn't hurt anybody to just say that definitely God is speaking to us while we're here, because He's continuing to remind us about self-care. He's continuing to remind us about all of these things that we can be doing and using our gifts and how we surround ourselves. All of these things are just coming back and being repeated. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And if you want to share that slide or your contact information in the comments, that way, if anybody wants to reach out to you, they can do that as well. Can we give some love to Delsue? Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
And moving right along, we are hitting our last two. The next person that's coming up is an awesome woman of God. And this lady is going places. So Nicole, I'm boosting you up because you're a boss lady and you just got to walk in that boss ship. But yeah, definitely. She is also an executive board member for Lifestyle of the Believer. So happy that she has agreed to be a part of this and to share on just experiences that we can put onto our vision board. And Nicole, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hey everyone, I hope all is
I'm
well.
going to give you the floor. Boss lady. Boss.
Thank you.
All right, feed us, okay?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm just so grateful just to be able to share with you all a little bit of what God has placed on my heart. Happy New Year to everyone. And so I was tasked to speak on planning for things that we wish to experience. No matter how crazy we may think they seem, plan for it anyways. And so I will be completely honest and say, I don't know what just happened to my notes, but I will speak from my heart and from the things that I can remember. And one of the things that first, jumped out to me when I was given this topic was God wants us to prosper. God wants us to prosper and to be in good health. He wants the very best for us. And let's just sit with that for a moment. Let's just sit with that for a moment. Like, God wants me to prosper. God wants you to prosper. God wants you to enjoy life and to enjoy all the beauty that creation beholds. And I just want to talk about the fact that sometimes, we don't feel deserving of good things. And I'm not trying to go in a negative direction. But I realized that sometimes in life, whether we've had, situations, when in our childhood or at some point in life, sometimes those things tends to make us think and feel that God doesn't, see us, or God doesn't want us to have good experiences. Or sometimes we condemn ourselves. We condemn ourselves and we block out the reality that God wants us to enjoy life and to have good experiences, and to have any and everything according to his will, uh, according to our heart's desires, as long as it's aligned with him. Sometimes we just forget, when life really throws so much at us, that we are we are God's children and he wants his best for us. And so one of the things that I jot down was, number one, you are worthy. You are worthy. And I know, I'm talking about experiences, and, I'm talking about planning for things that we wish, we really, really want. But sometimes the fact that we feel unworthy, we will sometimes hide, and we will sometimes just, shy away from the good things that God is exposing us to, whether it's through people, whether it's through, new ventures or adventures. Sometimes we will shy away from those things. And sometimes we will lose out, or we've lost out, because we just didn't feel like we were worthy. And so that was one of the things that I really wanted to hit home tonight, that as you are going through life, and as you are planning, and as you are preparing, and as you are readying yourselves for whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, or, whether it's just you just experiencing life in a whole, from, in a different way. I just want to remind us that God is in the details of our lives, and God wants us to have the best. He wants us to have the best. And something else that I really wanted to, share and encourage us tonight is the simple fact that you must, in all things, be God-centered. We must, in all things, be focused and fixated on God. And I think, as the speakers, those that came before me, I feel like we are all pretty much, in the same vein when it comes to having a relationship with God, understanding who you are, understanding your worth. All of these things matter in the grand scheme of things. Surrounding yourself with people that can help push you, surrounding yourself with people that can strengthen you, surrounding yourself, being in environments that will strengthen your growth, that will help you to get to where it is that God would have you to be. All of these things, they matter. They matter. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought those points across. But now to the topic at hand, planning. It is important to plan. It is important to prepare. It is important to, position yourself for whatever it is that you desire. It is important to write those things down. It is important to make declarations. It is important to do these things daily. It is important to have, accountability partners that remind you of the things that you said that you were supposed to be doing, that you said that you want to do. It is so important to have these things or people positioned around you so that you are reminded of all the good things that you want to experience, that you are reminded and that you are held accountable when you have those moments. I think, as one of the speakers said, when you have those moments where, you may experience self-doubt, or you may experience, you may feel like, oh, I don't know, this is going to happen. it is so important to make sure that you position yourself with these things and people that could help you, that can help hold your hand in some cases. Because let's be honest, we go through seasons of our lives where, we may have said, well, Lord, for example, I want a husband, or I want this car, or I want this job. And sometimes, things happen around us, chaos happen. Wink, wink, the pandemic happens. Death happens. Relationships fall apart. These things happen, and you find yourself sometimes, in a shaky place. And so it is so important for us to, number one, remember that God is with us, that God, is keeping us, and that he wants what's best for us. Another thing that I wrote, another thing that I really wanted to share with us tonight was the simple fact that as we are preparing and planning, it is so important for us to believe in ourselves. It is so important for us to believe, in the impossible. It is so important for us to be open-minded, and be open to whatever it is, that we desire, but also to whatever it is that God may surprise us with. One of the things that came to me I think it was about a month ago, and I had posted it on Facebook because I was awakened with it. And it was just 2 words, then, suddenly. And those 2 words really just resonated in my spirit. And in that moment, I was reminded that I needed to prepare. Some cases, in some instances, you're preparing for things that you don't even know is coming. But sometimes the Lord will, give you those reminders, whether it's through a person, whether it's through a message on Facebook, whether it's through nature and creation, that you need to get ready because something is happening. I truly believe in seasons and times. And sometimes, we lag because we're like, well, what am I getting ready for? It's almost like, you start putting on clothes and you start putting on makeup, and, you get yourself together, not really knowing what you're getting ready for. No one asked you out. No one called you to tell you, but there is something innate. There's something within you that lets you know, that indicates, that prompts you that this is preparation time, that this is time that I got to get it together. I don't know what's going to happen. Because one thing is for sure, that when that then suddenly moment happened, when that bomb drops, you don't want to be, lagging behind. You don't want to find yourself in a place of doubt. You don't want to find yourself in a place of, what do I do now? And then you're shaking and you're fumbling and you're trying to figure things out, and you're trying to navigate, and you're trying to figure out, okay, who do I cling to? Who do I talk to? You want to make sure that even if something seems so far-fetched, even if it seems so impossible, get ready. Get ready. And I feel that for someone tonight. Get ready. I know it looks crazy. I know there's a lot going on. I know that what you're thinking may be so far-fetched, but get ready, because God just has a way of surprising us. God just has a way of just showing up when we least expect it. God just has a way of showing out when we least expect it. And you don't want to find yourself in that place of doubt. You don't want to find yourself in that place of you're not prepared and you're not ready to receive, and I may be a little bit all over the place, but one of the things that I want to encourage us tonight is simply, remember this, that you are worthy and that God is in the details of your life. There have been times in my life where I felt like God did not hear me. There have been times in my life where I'm like, why am I going to prepare for this? Or why am I going to do? And I know what it's like to be completely thrown off. Not because of God, because when we find ourselves sometimes in those moments, we begin to point fingers at God and say, oh, you this or that, or we begin to play the blame game. you know, and I've done that. I'm speaking from experience. You know, I've been in those situations. And so in those moments, you know, you're blaming everybody else, but you're not looking at that mirror. You're not looking in the mirror and really just focusing and zeroing in on yourself. And so I just wanted to encourage someone tonight, you know, I pray that this really blesses someone. Get ready. If I don't say anything else tonight, if nothing else made sense, get ready, because God is going to do it. He's going to show up when you least expect it. He's going to show out. He's going to elevate you. There have been many of us that have been just hiding low, hiding under tables, afraid, running from everything. But God is saying, get ready, because it is going to happen when you least expect it. All right. Sorry for losing my notes, but I feel like, you know what? Hey, get ready. Get ready.
I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. Get ready.
Amen.
I don't know what God is about to do in the lives of those of us that are watching. Nicole, thank you for just speaking from your heart and giving us the word, because I believe that was a word from God. Just get ready. Just get
It's
ready.
harvest time,
Can you guys
baby.
give some love, please? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Like, this is good stuff. Really good stuff. We are getting ready for our last and final present. And it's been so wonderful. And right now we're going to hear from none other than co-founder of Lifestyle of the Believer, David Roberts, and he's going to be talking about wealth. And I'm going to receive all of this, okay? So he's going to be receiving, talking about wealth. So can you give him a hand and welcome the love of my life, none other than in the person of David Roberts.
Hi, baby.
Hi, babe.
Hello.
All right, I'm turning my mic off so you can go.
All right. So I get to come through and try to wrap this up for this portion. Everything has been great. I really want to say with this wealth thing, to take it and just apply everything that you've already heard tonight. I thought it was kind of funny when my wife told me she wanted me to speak about wealth. You know, when I began to think about it, hold on one second. Tell me we're getting an echo. Let's see if all right, I don't know if that comes out any better. If you can let us know in the chat if that's working out better on it, because now on my end I can't hear it. But I thought it was the funniest thing when my wife told me that she wanted me to speak about wealth, because we're not rich. So I thought it was a setup. But as we began to talk and discuss everything that we were doing, I realized that I am probably one of the wealthiest people you know. And in that, I'm not saying that I have the most money. I'm just saying that I realize that God has blessed me and my household to be wealthy. John Wesley said, you know, he said, earn all you can, save all you can, and give all you can. See, we strive for the first one very easily. That's our daily grind. When we get to that second one, save all you can, that seems a little hard. And that third one, give all you can, let's be honest, that just doesn't make sense. So we've come to look at wealth as being an abundance of money. But can I challenge you to change your definition of wealth? Change it from just being the abundance of money to an abundance of valuable possessions. Wealth is an abundance of value. Something is wrong with our mindset when it comes to wealth. You know, you can earn $1 million and people will say that you're wealthy, even though you can't pay your debts? You can earn what I'll call a you and me type of paycheck. You can earn a modest paycheck, never make a late payment, and at the end of every month have every bill paid, and no one will consider you to be wealthy. There's something wrong with our mindset of wealth. So John Wesley said, earn all you can. Notice he didn't say earn all that you want. He said earn all that you can. The first step in changing the definition of wealth is to realize there is more things of value than just money. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, hustle for what you want, but want more than just money. Listen, family time, alone time, fishing time, study time, video game time, just even that me time have become such a valuable resource for me. I tell you, if you have time, you are a person of wealth. Time isn't money, but man, it's more valuable than even the money that we earn. Oh, I tell them all the time, yeah, y'all pay me a good salary, but y'all can never pay me what I'm truly worth. See, work and earn money, but work and earn to things that are more valuable than money. Work for those other valuable things in your life. John Wesley says, save all you can. Luke 14:28-30 says, suppose, reading from the NIV version, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you, saying, this person began to build and wasn't able to finish. See, I reached a point where I got tired of counting the cost and not being able to do the thing. See, tying into counting the cost of any project is savings. See, when I go through and I count the cost, there's one or two questions that come to mind. One of them is, do I have enough saved? And then the other question may be, how much do I need to save? Most of us don't earn enough to do what we want to do, but we can save enough to do most of the things that we want to do. Saving allows us to pay for those vacations, those special treats, those new shoes, that new video game, that new car, or even that gym membership. See, saving pays for those purchases that don't fit into our regular budget. I had to find a way to work that word budget into a wealth topic. Doesn't matter how much you have or how much you're going to get. If you want to be and stay wealthy, you have to learn to budget. Money, time, relationships, and any and every other resource of value. We've got to learn to budget. Budgeting means allocating a set amount of resources to a particular area or a particular category in order to reach a predetermined goal. Oh yeah, see, there's a goal to me saving. There's a goal to my budgeting. That's something to keep in mind. Wealthy people set a budget. Wealthy people have goals. Wealthy people have a vision and can see where they want to go, or they can see what they want to get. John Wesley lastly said, give all you can. Let's be honest. What's the point in having something of value if you can't share it with others? They say you can't beat God in giving. I believe that that is true. But let me tell you, I still put it to the test all the time. I'm not trying to prove it wrong. Actually, I'm hoping it continues to hold true like every other time before. See, we said in our household, and I said it to other people when I talk about finances and budgeting and everything. I let people know, when you see the things my family and I have, when you see the places that we get to go, we are blessed beyond our paycheck. We're not living outside of our means. It's God blesses us beyond our paycheck. I believe a lot of that has to do with the fact that he dealt with us long time ago about money and about giving. Listen, he provided during a time when my wife was out on maternity leave, and we didn't even realize we weren't getting a paycheck from her. And we were here signing checks and writing every single bill, and God covered it all. And trust me, we are a 2-income household. There were times where our credit took a hit, and yet we still turned around and bought a new house. How do you go through and have another situation where somebody has identity theft against you and has caused these high charges and trying to take money out of your bank account, actually took money out of your bank account, and you still turn around within that same month and buy a new car? Listen, when I add up my checkbook, and I'm very particular about the numbers adding up, it has the balance. But when I look at what God has done and given to us, God blesses us beyond our paycheck. But that's because we've learned that we don't own anything. It all belongs to God. We've been called to be stewards of all that he has. And not just stewards, but to be good and faithful stewards of everything that belongs to him. If you don't believe that it belongs to him, when somebody takes it away, you will realize that you don't own it. When it doesn't come in that next check, you will realize that it really isn't yours. When we come to realize that, yes, God is the one that blesses, God is the one that provides, God is the one that brings about wealth, we begin to see wealth as being more than just money. We see it as being everything that we value in our lives. Times, family, friends, relationships, yeah, even money. Having those things is what truly makes us wealthy. So yes, I've learned to pay my tithes. Yeah, that's another word. I had to throw it in there right before I close. That comes back to that faith. That comes back to that trusting in God. I had to learn that all those things that, you know, we say that dedication prayer over and we dedicate it back to you, God, and God bless this car because I'm dedicating it to you. I've had to learn that when we dedicate it to God, that it's his and that we will use it to bring him glory and honor. Listen, he owns it all. We're good stewards. Man, I want you to truly go through and look at what is truly valuable to you. And you will come to realize that, yeah, I'm one of the wealthiest people that you know, but you're one of the wealthiest people that I know. Be blessed.
Yay.
More
good stuff.
We are definitely wealthy, and I think sometimes we do put that wealth in the form of
We are
monetary
definitely wealth in the form of monetary, and if we realize how much we have and all of our resources. So can we give the young man, the husband, a round of applause? That was some really good stuff. That is Mr. Roberts.
So that's it for our speakers.
So that's it for our speakers. I hope that you are pumped and you have been inspired and you are ready to work on this vision board. Like I said, when we first began, that you won't finish your vision board tonight. You probably would like to work on it on your own where you have some time with God. Remember, I started off with my Jesus music, my Christian music, but it wasn't, Lecrae, and it wasn't, Kirk Franklin, but it was some music that will allow me to still be able to think and still be able to hear God as we put this all together. So I'm just going to jump right in to our digital vision board. You can follow along with me, or you can just watch and take notes so that you know how to put your vision board together. Remember, we are writing the vision, we are making it plain so that when we see it, we can run. It may not happen right now, but it will happen. So again, thanks to all of our facilitators, our speakers that came in and shared and empowered. I will say that there are some things that I want to add to my vision board. So I'm going to be making some changes because I have been empowered and inspired today. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to go right into Canva. Okay, so Canva is what we will use to create our visual board. Now, this is the board that I created as an example for you. So you will go to canva.com and you can create a free account. If you are an educator, I was talking to Kesia earlier today, and she was letting me know that there are some resources that are available through their paid account that is free to educators. So if you are an educator and you want the premium account, I know that when we're done, I'm going to definitely take advantage of that. So go to Canva. So this is what I created. I'm going to show you where my vision board is sitting right now on my desktop. Oops, that's not showing that now. Can you see my desktop? It's not letting me show my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing for just a second because I lost all my pages. Okay, I'm coming back. All right, I don't know what I did, but my desktop looks very much like this. So my folders are on the side, and this is what I see when I open up my computer. This is my screensaver. So for you, you're going to, when you open it up, we're going to go to the home page, and then up here where you can type to the type of design you want or something that you're looking for. I'm going to, and I use this for a lot of things for work, a lot of things for church. I use Canva for everything. So if you're new to it, canva.com, create an account, and everybody's going to be like, wow, you are amazing. And then your secret is Canva. So right now I'm going to go for a desktop wallpaper. So this is going to give you the right sizing that you need for your wallpaper. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to create a new blank desktop wallpaper. So that's going to give me the perfect sizing that I need. Okay, so now that I'm here, I am going to now choose the sizing that I want. So I'm going to click on elements, and then from elements, I'm going to go down to see all, because I'm going to look for, actually, I'm going to go back to elements. Elements. I didn't want to see all. I'm going to take off frames. I'm going to go down to grids. That's where I meant, and I'm going to see all. So this is where the grids are already created for you. You can choose how many pictures you want. That's kind of how I created mine, with the grids already done. And if you click here, it'll bring it over. And then the good thing is you want more than 3 pictures on your grid, so you can make this smaller. Now, when you see that pink line show up, that lets you know that you're at the halfway page on that way. And then you can go to the halfway page vertical and horizontal. So that's what I did for that. Let me move my screen down a little bit. And then I'm just going to copy this one, and this icon right here is going to duplicate it. We're recording this, so if you need to go back and watch it, that's fine. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to put this one over here, and it's already the right size to fit in. Now I'm going to choose another grid, and I want to choose this one because I want some of my pictures the same size. And the same thing, we're going to drag that down. We're going to look for those pink lines that will help us to let us know we are equal. And I'm going to duplicate this one as well and move it into this group right here. Okay, so now I have my grid the way that I want it, or the way that I think I want it. We can always go back and change some of these grids. Now, if you can go to, there's a website, and I want to make sure I write, that's called Pexels, and you may have heard it, that you can find free information, free images and videos online that you can use in your, so Pexel, you see it comes up because I was using it. And then you can just go here and find images on whatever you want. So let's say that you were inspired by Kesia's presentation and you want to add a seed to your board. So you would type in seed, and then you can choose any one of these. You can click here, you can click download, and then you can download it to your desktop. And I'm just going to call this seed because when I'm looking for it, I want to know what it's called. So there is that seed image that I want to add to my board now that I've been inspired by Kesia. Let's say that I want to put something on there about, let's say, mindset, because something somebody said had to do with mindset. And I want to add that to my board. So I'm going to go look for any images that has to do with mindset. Quite a bit here. If you want to put words, the word mindset, I can do it. So you know what? I'm going to use this one here, new results, new mindset. So I'm going to click to download that. And this is, let me go back. That one is going to show up with the stock image on it. So I don't want that. But just for the purpose of us being here. So all of them are not free, but most of them are. And I guess mindset is very popular because I didn't get any that I had to pay for earlier. All right, so we're not going to use mindset because that's, and obviously you can always go to Google and find an image because this is something that you're using for your own personal information. What else did I write down? I have did you take my note paper? I want to choose maybe the word fitness because I want to be fit. So you can find images and just follow the same routine. If you want to find somebody that looks like you, if you want to find somebody that's doing an exercise that you want to do, click the download here. And then I'm going to call this fitness. And I'm going to download that. And it's going to go on my desktop. So that's just to show you how you can get your images on there. I'm going to go back to Canva. Where I started, and now I'm going to upload that image. So upload image. These are all the images that I have. I'm going to click upload. Let me do that because I went through that fast. So on the left, you see all your uploads, and I'm going to get the image from my device. So I'm going to click on device, and then I'm going to find the recent one that I just called fitness. And there it is. I'm going to choose that. And now I can just drag it into my vision board right there. I want to work on building a future, continuing to build my future. So this image is of me and my husband, but this is not just because I want to work on our relationship, but we want to talk about our future together. We want to talk about goals this year for our future. So I'm going to drag that and put that there. I want to remind myself that I got this. I can do this. So I'm going to drag this and put this here. And once I drag this and put this here, I can also change the size of it. So maybe I want this to be a little bit bigger. And I want to drag it in here like this. And so you can check, kind of adjust it the way you want. I want to work on my book that I'm working on. So I chose a typewriter. And I'm going to put that here. Again, I can double click on it and move it up to where I want it to be. So I can just really focus on that typewriter rather than the white space above. So that's that. I want to drink more water. So I'm going to add that. And I really just wanted to focus on that H2O. So I'm going to move it and adjust it to how I want it. Here on Canva, you can also put words on your board. So I'm going to click on that glow, or you can click on a regular text. I'm going to drag that over, and I'm going to put 2021 for my text, and I'm going to make it smaller, and I just want to put it in the center of my board because in a few years when I look back, I want to see what my you know, what year this had to do with. Okay, and for right now, I'm just going to leave it there, but I know that I'm going to try to find what image is going to land on top of easily without a problem. Also, something else that you want to put on your vision board is a picture of you that makes you feel good, your best self. So that reminds you whenever you see it, a picture of you, if you love, it doesn't even have to be a picture of you feeling or looking your most beautiful, but it has to be a picture that makes you feel good about yourself. So I chose, you can tell I use Canva for everything. Everything. So I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to pick this picture and I'm going to choose this and I'm going to put it here because that's the picture I use for a lot of my Lifestyle of the Believer things, a lot of promotion, and it just makes me feel good. For this one, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take that off of there because I want that picture of me to kind of stand out a little bit more. So I'll come back to that. I'm going to go back over here to elements. I'm going to take off the grid and I'm just going to use one of these frames because I want it to kind of maybe be a little bit more centered. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to go back to my images that I uploaded and I'm going to put that picture here so that it's in the center of my board because I feel good about myself when I look at that picture. Maybe it was the person who took the picture that made me feel good, or maybe it was the time, maybe I remember where I was and what I was doing, for whatever reason. And so this is how you're going to add images and pictures to your vision board. If you like, you can also, Canva has pictures built within. So you can go to photos here and you can just type in friends and it will give you a ton of pictures. Now, remember what I said, all of the images and pictures are not free. If you're asking questions, David, can you let me know because I can't see the board right now, the chat. But they have a lot of pictures on here. Everything is not free, but I'm definitely going to look into that free account for educators. So maybe you want to build relationship with people. You can go ahead and drag that here because that's one of your goals. Maybe one of your goals is eating. Food is eating right. So you want to just look at some foods that may inspire you. You don't want those pancakes dripping with caramel on it, but maybe you want a picture of some food that's going to inspire you to eat better. And you want to add those things to your board. And when you're done with it, and I'm just going to go through and just fill in these boxes, but you want to take your time and actually think about what's on your board. You want to think about your relationship. You want to think about your personal development. Maybe I want to, I told you guys that I wanted to write another book. Maybe you want to focus on your faith. So you want to choose a picture. Maybe these rocks will inspire you. Maybe your goal is to read your Bible more. So you can add that to your vision board. Let's see. I'm just going to fill this so I can show you how to save it to your desktop. Let's talk about travel. Nicole, talk about you are worthy of, you can do it. Don't think that anything, God loves us and he makes us worthy. I like this airplane in the sky. So I'm going to add this here. And like I showed you, I really want to focus on that airplane. So I'm going to make that really focus on the airplane and zoom that like that. So that. And what else do I want on my vision board? Can you guys give me some ideas of things that I'm just walking you through it. Let's do engagement. I want to get married this year. I want somebody to ask me to marry them. So I'm going to choose this image just as a representation of what I want to do with that. Let's say promotion, maybe. No, they're talking about promoting products. I don't know. So we're just going to add these here just as examples or space holders. For if it has that pro there, that means it's not for free. But like I said, maybe you want to be more computer savvy. So we're going to find some computer-ish pictures, and we'll add that right there. And we'll choose and add another one right there. So now we have our, so the other thing that I'm not going to do right now, but you want to also add words. So you can add words to your board. If there's a quote that inspires you, you can add that to your board. You can go into text. These are examples of text that are fancy, but if you click on add like a header text, you can say, I can do space. Maybe you want to just put, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So you can click on that. You can put that there as a reminder. You can come here and look at the different fonts, and you can choose whichever font you want. Oh, thank you. You can choose whichever font you want. If you want to put words like believe or hope or whatever you want to put, this is your vision board. And it can be something that speaks to you. So even though this may have two people here, maybe you have a rough relationship with your sister, and that's your goal, to build a relationship with your sister. Nobody has to know what each piece means. Maybe the airplane doesn't mean travel for you. Maybe the airplane means you want to go back home, whether home is, for me, it's the Bahamas, so home is Jamaica, and that's your goal. You haven't been home in years. So your vision board does not necessarily let anybody know except for you and for God, because he puts it in your heart and gives you the desire. So now that I have that, I'm going to go to download. I'm going to download it as a JPEG. And there was something that I have on here that's not free because it says $2 that I have to pay. So I'm going to change that. I think it's this. Let's go back and find another food that's free. Food. I can spell, guys. Sorry. I'm going to go to food. So this one looks healthy. So now I go back. I'm done with my board. I'm going to go here. Something else is on the board that I have to pay for. It's not free. I wasn't paying attention. I should have done a better job. And I don't know what it is right now. But you can go, you're gonna go here once you have all of that done. Try what? The hearts, these? Oh, it is the rock. It is the rock. It is the rock. You can tell because it has lines over it, but I couldn't see the lines. So let's do faith. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. And this is free. So I'm going to add that to my board. You're going to be more meticulous and you're going to think about it more. You're going to have your candles lit and you're going to have your music playing and you're going to be in the place where you can hear from God. So I'm just showing you for right now. So now for the third time, let's try download. And then you're going to download as a PNG and you're going to click download. And there you have it. So now I'm going to name this 2021 Vision Board. I'm going to call this 2 because I already have something called Vision Board. And then I'm going to save it. And this is what my vision board looks like. And I am going to then save this as a desktop image for my desktop. So that's what my vision board looks like. I can also send this to myself via email, and then I can also make it a part of, make it my screensaver for my phone. Any questions for that? Is that helpful? Okay, so now we're going to transition to a regular vision board, and that's going to take me about maybe 5 minutes to go over. And then I'm going to take questions because I know some people had questions in the comments. So hopefully some of our speakers are still here. Maybe they can answer some questions. All right, we ready to switch? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you. All right, so now let's go to our regular board. So for the regular board, you're seeing this. I bought this board on sale from Walmart. And so I'm going to use this for my board. So I'm going to turn this over. And what you can do, and you can also use just a regular bulletin board, not bulletin board, a regular board, like a project board as well. But I wanted to make sure that I use this board, that I can put this up in my office. So that's why I wanted to frame it. So I'm going to take this. This is the paper that comes with it. And since I'm just going to use this same frame, what I did ahead of time is I went through and I put lines so you can see where the board begins and ends. So I'm going to use this same paper that comes with the frame for my board. Okay, so I'm going to use that here, and this is going to tell me the borders from where I need to put my images. So some of the images that I showed you just a while ago that I got from Pixel, I went ahead and printed out so you can see those. A picture that makes me feel good about myself. This one has to do with my podcast. This one has to do with travel, the year 2021, and so on and so forth. So I cut those out, and I'm going to place them. I've already on my vision board, and in a nice way. I think I want 2021 in the center. I think I want this picture of me somewhere up here. And what you're going to do is just place it how you want it. This is shared story, so it's a book idea that that God gave me. So I want to make sure that I work on that in 2021. My goodness, I'm jumping ahead. This is You Got This. Is a reminder, like, even though it seems difficult, these things God gave you, you got this. This is because I want to drink more water this year. I don't hardly drink enough water. And that's there. I have some goals that I won't share, but I definitely have some goals for my podcast. This is for my book. And then PhD. I'm thinking about it. And so this is just remind me that, Gia, you want this. And we're going to wait on God for it, but we're going to work toward it, whatever we need to do to get it done. This is about relationships, and this is just reminding me of those relationships that are most important in my life. I want to make sure that I focus on my faith and spending time with God. And I also have this Bible here to help me with that. And it's all about making it look really nice. This one is for building relationships. And relationships at work, because my job is very much related to working with people. Let's put PhD loading here. Okay, here. This is about travel, but this is really dependent upon what this pandemic does. So that's my passport. I want to make sure that I have my Bible on here. Yeah, they can overlap. I think I'm going to put that there. Put that here. That doesn't work. But you guys get the idea. And so what I did is I literally went to pixel.com, found images. Some of these are my images, of course, my personal pictures. Found images that spoke to what I want for this year. And I talked to God within my heart and say, God, you and bring. So I'm going to just take these down really quickly. This is not the order that I want it in, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to take these down really quickly. And then show you what it looks like once we add it to the board. there. And we're almost done, guys. Almost done. You guys have been great. This water bottle. Jeff, to start working on not drinking so much Coke. I really have a problem. Y'all pray. Pray. You know when it happened? You know what? I put this here because I have to find somewhere to put these other two. And then some of you are looking like all she got to do is move that over there and move that over there, and everything will work. But I'm just putting these on here for now. This is the one that I want to work on to make sure that I put in my office and my door.
My chair in my office faces the door. So since it faces the door, I want to make sure that I have it right in front of me so I can see it as I'm sitting in my desk.
Okay. And here we go. And one last one that I cannot forget is my Bible, and making sure that I not just read the word, but I'm studying the word. The main thing I want is the Bible, so I don't have to have his hand. So since I use this and I made my borders already, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just turn it over. And you can do the same thing like you normally would. I'm going to go ahead and put this back piece back on. Close it up. And remember, the key thing about the vision board is not just that you do it, but that you put it somewhere where you see it on a daily basis. So this is my 2021 first sample vision board that you can just hang up, and it's already framed and it's already ready to put up. So there you have it. That's one of the ways that you can do a actual vision board. And this is the type of vision board that I've used in the past. The digital vision board I am using for the first time this year, but we can't get together like we normally would like to for a vision board party. So I'm gonna get back on camera. So there you have it, how to create your vision board. I know I kind of went through that quickly, but you can go back and watch the video. And I'm going to take questions from you. I'm going to put on some music so we can listen to some music softly as we take questions. So just give me a second. And I love this. Can you hear it? It's not playing yet? Nice. Okay, let's get that. I think it's my volume is up, maybe not. Okay. Okay, guys, what questions do you have? And remember, there's nothing wrong with just lighting your candles, putting on some like your Jesus music, let God speak to you. Or if you don't, if music is not going to work for you, if it's going to be more of a distraction, you don't even need that. I want to really take the time to thank all of our facilitators who shared and poured out their hearts. I'm definitely going to go back and watch this again. You can guarantee that. And I'm going to continue working on my vision board because I do think I want to put a seed on my vision board. I think I want to put a picture of a brain on my vision board. And I definitely think I want to put some sort of fitness on my board. Germa was saying, you don't have to start with everything, you know, but just 30 minutes a day and don't compare yourself to anyone else and you can do it. Questions, guys? Somewhere to Europe. So how many of you are going to do it? Let me see in your comments if you actually think you can do it. Nobody yet. Some are saying they're gonna do it. Okay, awesome, awesome. So what I want to do before I let you go, I'm going to try this. Share those boards with me. I want to post them so other people can see what an awesome job you've done. I'm sure you guys are going to do great jobs and great boards. Turn my music down. Okay. Okay. I'm sure you guys are going to do a great job. I created a 5-year one. Awesome. Awesome. So remember, you can do one that has to do with your job, your career, a full one. The ones that I did has to do with my full life. And I use those 7 characters that we talked about: faith, health, wealth, relationships, personal development, experiences. I'm forgetting one. So yeah. So you can use all of those to think about what you want to add to your vision board. But before I let you go, I want to pray, and I just want to seal not just what we've done with this vision board, but those ideas. Can I just ask you, just in the comments, has God spoken to you while you were on this, at this vision board party? Has he spoken to you or put anything in your heart? Has he has he done that for you tonight? Because I know he's done it to me or for me. Yes, confirmed a few things. Great, great, great. I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. So what I want to do is I want to pray with you that God would seal the desires of your heart that he placed with you, and that he would give you the desire to go forward and to cancel out fear and doubt and anything else that might stop you from doing what he has called you to do. This has been a great time for us together. I do have 2 questions in the Q&A. So if any of our speakers, no? Okay. All right, so would you bow your head? Huh? Oh, one was from before, okay. So would you bow your head? Father, I just thank you so much, God, for your amazing love, for your grace. Father, I thank you for loving us so very, very much, God. You love us despite ourselves. You love us. God, you are such an amazing Father. Father, you carry us when we can't carry ourselves. God, you give us strength when we are weak. God, you pour into us and you send people to minister to us. You care for our very needs. You care for our feeding our souls and feeding us spiritually, God, and feeding us naturally. And we are ever so grateful. And God, I am grateful that you have gathered us together this evening to just speak to us and to just minister to us through your servants tonight. And those things, Lord, that you have spoken to us, those things that you have confirmed in our hearts, those visions that you have given us, those desires to go forth and do the things that you have called us to do. Father, we thank you for the giftings that you have given us. And now I thank you that you have given us marching orders and what to do with those gifts. Lord, I thank you so much. And I pray, Lord God, that you would seal those things, Lord. And I come against fear. I come against doubt. I come against that spirit of I'm not good enough, that spirit of I'm not worthy. Father, I pray that you would build self-esteem, and I pray that you would restore everything that the enemy has taken from your children. Restore, God, you have given us the ministry of reconciliation and restoration. And God, I speak restoration right now in the name of Jesus. God, I pray a special blessing upon those who shared tonight. I pray that you would pour back into them. And I pray that you would raise them. I pray that whatever ministry you have called them to, God, I pray that they would walk in it. Whatever calling you have given them, I pray that they would walk in it, and I pray that you would make their way straight. And I come against the enemy that would try to trip them up, Lord. I give you glory and honor for everything and all things. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen and amen. Thank you so much for being here. And that's all we have for you. I hope you enjoyed our vision board party. And when this pandemic is over, we can really get together and really have some treats and some music and all of this wonderful stuff. until next time, or until we meet for our actual one again, God bless you and bye-bye. Have a good night, everybody.